Hello YouTube fans. Well, I did get the chance to project the sun. Let me just stop that from moving. So, this is the first shot I wanted to show you quickly. The telescope is set kind of close to the patio, and I do move it as these pictures go along. I did use, actually let me get back out of this. I did use the star diagonal. As if you see follow my mouse here, you can see that it's on there. Let me actually show you that. Okay, so I did use this. Excuse my voice. And today I got some really good pictures. The only trouble is, let me scroll down here a minute, is that today I couldn't wait for a perfectly clear day. It's never going to happen. So these are actually pictures after I packed everything away. The sun is starting to set. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to tell you that even though I got some really good images, all of them were taken through these type of wispy high clouds that were almost not there, so to speak. Let me actually give you a full screen of that so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so the whole day it was actually a lot cloudier, and it started to clear up around 4 or 5 o'clock. It started to clear up, but there was these feathery like clouds all over, and this is what I projected the sun through. The sun was always looking through. As you can see, this is a picture of the sun setting behind that house, but you can see that through here there was always these wispy clouds, and even though the clouds were there, they're very light clouds, but something like this was always obscuring the sun to some small degree, and yet I still got some really cool images. You have to understand that first, naturally the people who take the pictures through the telescope come up with some really sharp, nice pictures. I'm holding a tablet camera in my hand, and it's 2 megapixels, and I have a shaky hand, and I'm going through these clouds. So I think considering all that, I think I did pretty good. So this is just to show you the kinds of clouds that were there. So with all that said, this is of course where the diagonal is. This is the first try. I had to move it because the shadow of the house started to cover the telescope. As you can see underneath it here, it's kind of like the image is sort of missing. So here, as you can see here, this is because the actual image, first of all, you could actually see sunspots on this, but you could also see that there's some clouds. You could actually see the wispiness of the cloud in that image. Okay, so I had to move it. Okay, so I don't know the exact order of this, but as you can see, there's sunspots there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of this because I want to show you the fact that I fixed the images. So, for example, the first one, this is the raw image, and this is the fixed image. Okay, so I did some color adjustment, and I'm sorry about my voice. I did some color adjustment to each photo. Okay, so this one's not that important because of the fact that it's sort of shadowed by the house, and I have to move the screen. But you can, even in this picture, you can see the 2 sunspots, 3 actually. But that's actually one of the worst pictures. So let's move on. This is, I believe, after I move the picture. Now you see how bright this is. You can't even see the detail. Close up, you can see that there's 2 sunspots there. But there's a lot more detail here, and I was able to see it with in real life, but apparently the camera got kind of oversaturated. So this is this is the same image after I dimmed it, and you can see the huge difference. Oops. Oh, wrong pic. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Okay. I'm messing up here. Okay, so there's the first one. There's the first one. And it's 2225. Okay, so there's this second picture fixed. Okay, so let's go ahead and maximize that. So there it is. Again, it's hard to see in this photo, but in sitting in front of it, I can actually see the cloud moving sort of wispily in front of the sun. It was a very light cloud, so it was able to see straight through it. But if you look over here, I'm zooming in on this. Okay, where the hand is, there's some sunspot activity going on there, and here, and here. This may be a little out of focus, actually. Okay. Next one would be 2304. This is kind of skewed. I was still moving the board around, and you could see the egg shape that it looks like. You could even see the shadow of my tablet. And this is the same image fixed. So we're going to go ahead and I darkened it, and you can see that apparently some of the cloud had left because I'm starting to see more detail here. These images are darkened, color saturation pulled back, sharpened, etc. The software that I use is the stuff that comes with Windows. You click on a picture and you can click on edit and adjust, and that's all I'm using. I don't have any store-bought extra software. I don't have Photoshop or anything like that, so I deal with what I have. I'm kind of a poor man working on a computer that I have. Whatever came with it is what it came with, and whatever I can get for free, like the debut software that I'm using to capture the screen. So there it is. Okay, let's move on. The next one would be 2408. Okay, so you can see that before I adjusted it, you can still see sunspots. Again, I want to remind you that most or all of these photos, I'm dealing with some very feathery, wispy clouds, and yet I was able to get these images. And on top of that, I'm using a tablet camera to take pictures of a screen that I'm holding in my hand. And if you knew me, you would know that I have a very shaky hand. So I wish I can give you some clearer pictures when I get a better camera, maybe with a tripod, things like that. But in the meantime, I think I did pretty good here. So let's go ahead and look at the next adjusted color picture. There it is, same image, as you can see the difference. Pow, brings it right out. Let me go ahead and zoom that in. Let me go ahead and see if I can full screen that for you. So, as you can see, there's a lot more sunspot activity from the last time I did a video. Last time I think I had maybe 2 sunspots. There's here, there's 2, there's 3, there's some very light stuff going on here and here, and of course there's that same smudge going on there. Let's zoom that in really tight on there. Okay, and again, the fact that you're not seeing the real detail is because there is actually clouds, wispy as they are, obscuring some of the view. So on a perfectly clear blue sky, I would be able to come up with actual, even sharper images. And again, I'm taking pictures of a piece of paper through a 2-megapixel tablet camera. So, okay, so next one would be which one did I just show you? That one? Okay, so the next one will be these two. I don't know now. Well, one of these has got to be... I did this one 3 times. or I should say I fixed it twice. So here's the original. Okay. You can see the same sunspots, and it's really, really difficult, if at all. You can't even see the other feature. There's that other dim one there. So I worked on this one twice. This is once, and this is twice. And I managed to pull some of that detail out. This must be when the cloud was, a particularly thick part of the cloud was on there. Again, these clouds aren't all that thick. They're all wispy, but on this particular image, I think the cloud was really giving me a hard time. Okay. So next one would be, okay, this is the original. It's too bright. I don't know if the camera was going through adjustments or what. Somehow it oversaturated. So yes, that's the same image. And I darkened it up. Not quite as good as some of the other ones, but not bad, not bad. Now I wanted to mention, let me brighten this one. Let me go to the next one. Here we go. Let's go to the original. No, that's not it. Okay, that must be the original of this one. This board, okay, this is after I moved it, and I believe I tilted it back. This board, again, this poster board that's back in the background of this is 22 inches wide. So you could actually, however big it is on your screen, you could actually take a ruler to the screen, and you can measure the width of the actual paper, and then simply do a little division and calculate how many times the screen is smaller or what have you than the actual size, and then measure the diameter of the solar image, and you should come up with about 17 inches, I believe. Some of the first images, because I actually had it closer, were as much as almost 20 inches. But let me see. I'm doing it now, and I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm actually measuring the screen now, and I'm measuring ever so slightly more than 10 inches down the center. If I lower it down a bit, it's about 10 inches. So the sun itself image is more than 8 inches in diameter on my screen, because I zoomed it in. And that means, so 10 inches as opposed to 22. Well, actually, let's make it easier. Let's see if we can make it 11 inches. Okay, there it is. Well, that's. Let's try that. Oh, geez. Okay, well, anyway, I don't want to bore you to death. I can't seem to get it in between. But 10 and 8. Okay, so 8/10 of 22 is what? 10/10 of 22 is 22. Any case, we're talking about a 17-inch. Let me actually do the division. In fact, I'm going to pause this. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I was right. This particular image, according to the calculation, is more than 17 inches in diameter. So we're looking at a beautiful, almost 18 inches in diameter image of the sun. If we were to be watching a solar eclipse, I can have an audience sitting behind the telescope, behind the screen. We can all watch an eclipse. We can watch transits. Let me just go to the next image. Is that the same image? No. No, there it is. Okay, so this is the fixed image. Okay, again, I don't see a whole lot of detail. I can still see the 3 sunspots. The clouds must be in front of this one. So let's go to the next one. Yes. Okay, so there's the original image, and here's the fixed image. Now we're starting to see some of the detail. Can you see where this is? Okay. You can see this. So some of the clouds, again, even in the ones that I can see the detail, there are still some wispy clouds that the sun is peering through. It looked like a perfectly sunny day, but when you looked up, you can see these feathery looking clouds. So it wasn't a big disappointment, but it was a bit of a disappointment. I was hoping to get a perfectly clear day, but instead of waiting, I wanted to make this video and show everybody. Okay, so there's the original. The next one is, there's the original. Almost the same story, but if you look real close, I'm going to zoom this in. I don't know if you can see this. You have to watch this in high definition, otherwise you're never going to be able to see any of this. There is some sign of that same feature there. So let's zoom this out. That's not the same image. Let me try. Or is it? Is it? Let me see. I'm getting confused. I believe that's the same one. There it is. Okay. And here's another where I you might call it false color. I kept trying different hues and different saturations, but you can see the same feature there. You can see two sunspots here. Okay. The sun is starting to fall off the edge of the screen there. Okay, that would be the original of the one I just showed you, this falling off the screen. You could see this feature here. Again, I don't know if you could actually see this. You would have to definitely play this in high definition. Okay. Once again, original image. Sorry, original image and fixed image. Okay, let's do that again. Original, fixed. And as soon as I darken it up, you can automatically see this. And here's one that's starting to show up that I didn't see before. Very faint. Okay. And also, I saw this. So there must be some clouds leaving. Okay. There's always, I didn't even look at the top to see if there's anything on the top. Look closely at the edge. Maybe we could even see some prominences. Looking closely at the edge. What is this? I don't know. Maybe not. Looking closely. Yeah. Yeah, once you start messing with the image like this, you start to get this here graininess going on. Well, okay, so next one. That's the original. This is the next image fixed. This is the next image original. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Okay, let's look all around the edges. Okay, so zoom it out. Now this is a very close image to the point where I filled the camera view up with the sun's image, and actually the paper is actually not completely in the image of the camera, but that's okay. So that's the original. Oops. That's the original, and that's the fixed. Right away, you can see these features that come out. You notice I sharpened it, and you can see some graininess. So the magnification is not that high as far as the eyepiece is concerned, but when it comes to projecting, you don't do the calculations of the magnification the same way. If you were to look through the telescope with your eye up against the eyepiece, which obviously you don't want to do with the sun going in there, it's 37 power. But once you start putting the projection screen further away from the telescope, you are automatically magnifying it. So this is magnified, you know, more than 37 times. we're looking at a diameter of, like I said, close to 18 inches in diameter, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, I love this. You know, you see a lot of projections going on the web, people telling you how to make these projectors and using a telescope, and some of them even do this silly pinhole thing, and you don't see any of this detail on the pinholes. But they, even the ones with the telescope, you never see an image more than 5 or 8 inches in diameter, sometimes 10. When I got this, when I was able to do this 18 inches in diameter thing, I was quite pleased. Okay. Okay, so this is after I moved it a couple of times. You can see the setup. You can see the shadow of the house starting to encroach on the lens of the telescope. I'm about to have to move it again. Okay, but as it is now, you can see what that does to the image. You can see a slight shadow there. But that's how this looks while I have it out. And what I did was I did actually tilt it. You see how I have the clipboard, and you can see where the cardboard is actually at an angle. Okay, and this wood is holding it down. So I did actually move it and did that, and was able to do that. All right. The wind was cooperative today. It was a lot less breezy than it was in the last couple of days, so I had no problem with keeping this thing standing up. It didn't blow down on me, not even once. I still use the shield here. That creates a shadow over the eyepiece, so that at least there's no glare there. Even though I'm using the diagonal to perpendicular projection, this way I can put the solar screen, the projection screen, in the shadow of the house, and that's how I get such a beautifully bright image, because you can see inside the telescope. Could you imagine sitting in my backyard right now and there's a solar eclipse, and I set chairs up behind the telescope here, and we're all sitting down having a barbecue and watching an eclipse through my projection screen. That's the beauty of this. This is what I wanted, although I don't know when we're going to have a solar eclipse next, but there's the idea. Okay, so that's a fixed image. That's an original image. Again, I'm trying to get real close to the screens and take some close-up pictures. So I ended up filling up the camera view. So let me get back to the the fixed image. There's some detail there. Zoom it in on you. High definition, please, if you can. If you can, I'm sorry. Let's take a close look at some of these sunspots. Look at this one here. You can actually see the dark in the center and the less dark on the outer edges. Very interesting. So there is more solar activity going on since the last time I did this. Okay. This one looks a little skewed. This might, I think these photos may not be in order. But this is, I was trying to adjust the screen, and I guess I must have put it at an angle by mistake. But in any case, oops. Okay, there's the original, and there's the fixed. There's that same feature. There's another feature I didn't see before. Okay. Let me see, is there anything going on the edge? I don't notice anything. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, original. And, oops, wait. And fixed. Alright. I really sharpened this one up a lot. You can see the pixelation of this thing. But I was trying to really get that detail in. I was attempting to make some... Look at this one here. Look at that. It's a little too zoomed in. Okay. And that's the original. It's amazing how the detail comes out. See, this is the same feature. It's amazing how the detail comes out just by darkening and adjusting the contrast and maybe taking some color out. Okay, again, original. And this appears to be a full, almost 18-inch diameter. There's that feature there. Again, you may not be able to see this. I'm sorry if you can't. I'm seeing it on the original. There's a very faint feature there. It's the same feature, but I believe the clouds are starting to come over. I was able to see it while I was taking the picture, but in the picture, in the photo itself, you can't really see the fact that there's actually a projection of the cloud wispiness across the surface of the sun here. So there is definitely cloud there. And there's that feature there, that sunspot there. So there's a whole lot more sunspot, even though it's not a lot of sunspots, but there's a whole lot more than there was the last time. Let me get to the, oops, wrong one. This is the fixed image. Okay, there's that feature there. Well, I'm hope I'm not boring you all to death with all this. While I was doing this, by the way, we had a power outage because there was a bad accident nearby. It took down a telephone pole, and that's why you saw this. This is that's me. That's my shadow. The cops had barricaded the street. You couldn't go down this street because they didn't want anybody going that way. They wanted everybody coming back this way. As you can see, there's the next stop. The police were very good about it. And there's that's actually in the corner of my house. You can see the street lights out. Telephone pole came down, put out the lights. Cops have the flares telling people not to go down the street. But I thought I'd share that with you. So there you have it. There's the clouds again, about the wispiness clouds. Like I said, this is what I was looking at the sun through all the whole time. So please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. My next video will be hopefully without the clouds, and perhaps now that I've actually done this the right way, I think I'll be able to do it with a smoother and more professional way. I won't have to go through the stuff that you see on the screen now with the shadow of the house blocking the solar view. I'll be able to adjust the screen a little bit right from the start instead of waiting. So keep looking up. I'll look up the next time that we're going to have a solar eclipse. It's probably 100 years from now. We're never going to see it. But hopefully we'll catch one. And if we do, in my lifetime, I will certainly... Hey, look at that, my tablet shadow. In any case, I will definitely try to show you this with the eclipse. And thanks for watching.